welcome to the Espresso, your daily shot of Chinese words with Catherine Xiang. I'm Catherine Xiang. If you're new to this channel, in this channel we really aim to explore the relationship between Chinese characters and Chinese words and their expressions. So it's really aimed to form you a foundation so that you can master Chinese language, particularly words, much more effectively, and you will learn the characters and you will learn the words and know how to use them in a meaningful context. So if you're new and you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe so that you don't miss out any new content. If you do like the video, don't be shy, click on the like button. Or if you have any feedback, if you do not like it, or there's anything I can explain better and help you learn better, do leave me a comment so I can also learn with you. So let's start. In today's video, we will continue with the Chinese character 心. We have done 4 videos so far about the Chinese character 心. So before we start, just a very quick recap as usual. Let's have a quick look at how this Chinese character is written. Great. So today we're gonna learn something slightly different. Today I will introduce a very unique linguistic feature of the Chinese language. It's called 歇后语. 歇后语. So what is it? It's a 2-part of expression or Chinese proverb, which the first part is kind of describe the situation or describe the scenario. And then the second part will offer a rational explanation or conclusion linked to the first part. Do we have something similar in English? Yeah, I think we do. So for example, if someone tells you an apple a day, well, you kind of understand, okay, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? So the second part is to describe or kind of a rational explanation what happened to the first part if you keep doing it. The typical example, actually, we have something similar both in English and in Chinese to express that. So for example, in English, you say, oh, speaking of the devil, you know the person you're talking about is arriving, right? In Chinese, of course, we use a historical figure when we talk about this, but it's slightly different, but conveying the same meaning. So this is just my brief explanation of how this construction works, linking to the English. Hopefully that will help you to get a sense of how 歇后语 works. So the first part is descriptive, the second part is the rationality and the real intended meaning, and more importantly is that you need to be familiar with the first part so that you understand the second part and the intended meaning. Because in the daily life, people will omit the second part. So what is the history? What is the history behind 歇后语? Where does that come from? Actually, 歇后语 is coming from ancient China and typically from the ordinary people or the working people. So they see some phenomenon and then they use very simple words to describe it. So that linked to the first part of the expression. But with intention, really want to actually tell you something that enlightens you. It's like an enlightenment or something that you can actually learn, and it's kind of a common, almost like life philosophy or wisdom. So this is the little history about where 歇后语 is from. So in Chinese, we actually have many 歇后语. But in today's video, because we're learning the Chinese character 心, so all the 歇后语 will actually tell the story or have some kind of philosophy or wisdom contained with 心. So let's make a start. So the first one I want to introduce is actually the first part of the proverb contain the Chinese character that we've already learned, that is 吃, to eat. Yeah, remember the Chinese character 吃, to eat. So the first part of the expression is 瞎子吃饺子. 瞎子吃饺子 So 瞎子 blind person 饺子 dumpling I think a lot of you know 饺子 So 瞎子吃饺子 So a blind person eating dumplings What happened to that? What's the second part of the expression? What is the intended meaning? So this is actually from a little story happened in a restaurant. So the waiter, the waiter saw a blind person came into the restaurant. So he thought, oh, he's blind. He didn't know how many dumplings I would put in the soup. So he thought he's going to cheat the blind person. So usually in a bowl of soup with a dumpling, a regular portion is 12. So he deliberately took out 2. So he only put 10 dumplings into the soup and served to the blind person. However, he didn't realize the blind person, yeah, he's blind, but when he's eating, he's counting. So he knew exactly how many dumplings there are in the soup. So this is where the story from. So 瞎子吃饺子 and then the second part is 心里有数心里有数 So in the heart 心里有 there is 数 the number So actually deeply in your heart you know the situation, you know the figure. So 心里有数 become then a common idiom to describe someone who's fully in control of the situation, who has an overall picture, who's confident about something. Okay, so 瞎子吃饺子心里有数 When you hear people say 瞎子吃饺子 you would understand that person wants to say he or she or whoever they are describing is fully aware of what's going on. You can't hide anything away from that person. Okay, so this is the first 歇后语 we learned today. 瞎子吃饺子心里有数 The second one now. The second one also linked to something we already learned in the past about tofu, 豆腐 Remember, if we say 吃豆腐 you have to be quite careful. 吃豆腐, eat tofu is not as straightforward as what the literal meaning eat tofu means. Now, if you want to find out why, please go back. I put a link up, talk about the words or the food that you have to be a bit careful in Chinese expression eat tofu and the history and the reason why. But in this case, when it comes to the 歇后语, so what we have is 刀子嘴豆腐心刀子嘴豆腐心 So this is the first part of the 歇后语刀子嘴 So 刀子 knife 嘴 mouth 豆腐 tofu 心 heart 刀子嘴豆腐心 So what can that mean? So it is to describe a person. So this expression is typically describe a person. So what do you think that means? The second part is 嘴硬心软嘴硬心软嘴 again, mouth, 硬 very hard. Okay, 心 the keyword, heart, 软 soft. Okay, so the whole 歇后语 if I put it together is 刀子嘴豆腐心嘴硬心软 Okay, I guess you might have guessed what is about this person. So this person saying very sharp things, okay? This person probably say things that quite offensive or quite harsh. People find it's difficult to follow or why this person is being a bit mean, okay, in terms of the words they say. But 豆腐心 But actually their heart is what? Like tofu, really soft, okay? So 豆腐心 means that person is actually very kind. Deep inside, it's actually a very kind person. But maybe he or she does not pick the right words to say and could come across as very cold, very indifferent, doesn't care. But actually that person genuinely is a good person, has a kind mind, has a kind heart. Okay, so this is the second 歇后语 we learned today. So 刀子嘴豆腐心. And if you know someone's describing 他就是刀子嘴豆腐心, you know that means this person 嘴硬心软. Despite what he or she is saying, he or she actually intends good. Okay, it's not really what he or she really meant. They are very kind people. Okay, so this is the second 歇后语 with 心. Right, let's now learn something very new, very different. Okay, so the third 歇后语 I want to introduce, it's very descriptive. It's actually, you can imagine why ancient people would use that expression. So the first part is 黄鼠狼给鸡拜年. 黄鼠狼给鸡拜年. So 黄鼠狼 is the animal weasels. Okay, so we all know weasels actually eat chicken. So 黄鼠狼 is the animal. Okay, 给鸡 is chicken. 拜年 in Chinese is what is 拜年? 拜年 is what you do when you go to visit your relatives, right? So when you went to Chinese New Year, you went to visit your relatives and you wish them a Happy New Year. And 黄鼠狼, this animal is actually what? They eat chicken, right? But they went to the house to visit and to send greetings to chicken for a Happy New Year. That's not right, right? So the second part is 没安好心. 没安好心. So 黄鼠狼给鸡拜年, 没安好心. When weasels went to visit chicken during the Chinese New Year, intend to say, oh, I wish you Happy New Year. So clearly without good intention, right? Clearly it was just a kind of a fake act, but wanted to actually eat the chicken. So this is what the ancient Chinese people came up to describe someone doesn't come with good intention, okay, mean bad. So 黄鼠狼给鸡拜年, 没安好心, 没安好心 has not placed a good heart. So in this case, the heart, remember, is about the intention. So it doesn't really come with good intention. 瞎子吃饺子, 瞎子吃饺子, 心里有数, 心里有数. 刀子嘴豆腐心, 嘴硬心软. 刀子嘴豆腐心, 嘴硬心软. 黄鼠狼给鸡拜年, 没安好心. 黄鼠狼给鸡拜年, 没安好心. Great! That's everything for today, and I hope you enjoyed today's video and get to know this linguistic form, the two-part expressions in Chinese called 歇后语. And this will be the last video for the time being for the Chinese character 心. And next time I'm going to move on to a different character. I think I have already had something in mind, but if you have requests, if you have a character that you want to learn, and also you want to learn the vocabulary linked to that character, please leave me a comment and I will try to make sure that I will cover your character in my video. So keep well and I look forward to seeing you next time. 再见!